Some people spend their entire lives chasing success, only to discover they were running in the wrong direction. The truth is far more unsettling than anyone wants to admit. Success has never belonged to the loudest voice, the luckiest person, or the one who wanted it the most. It belongs to those who become impossible to ignore, long before the world even notices they exist. Right now, without realizing it, you could be repeating the same invisible mistakes that keep millions of people trapped in ordinary lives. Mistakes so subtle they feel completely normal. Until one day you wake up and years have disappeared, while someone with no greater talent quietly builds the life you once imagined for yourself. The frightening part is that almost nobody recognizes these mistakes until it's already too late. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 9 timeless principles that separate the people who spend their lives waiting from the people the world eventually cannot overlook. These aren't motivational quotes, they're psychological laws. Once you understand them, you'll begin seeing success differently, and you'll never be able to look at your own life the same way again. But I need one thing from you before we begin. Don't listen to this video like entertainment. Listen as if every principle is exposing a hidden weakness inside your own mind, because the moment you recognize it, you gain the power to change it. And the first principle may be the one that changes everything. Principle 1: stop chasing success. Become someone it cannot ignore. Imagine standing in front of a mountain and shouting at it to move. You can scream louder, beg harder, or blame the mountain for refusing to listen, but nothing changes. Then one person quietly picks up a hammer and starts carving. A year later, the mountain still stands, but a path now runs straight through it. That is the difference between people who chase success and people who become unforgettable. One spends years demanding results from the world. The other spends those same years becoming so valuable that the world has no choice but to respond. Success has never respected desperation. It has always respected transformation. Marcus Aurelius never woke up asking, "How can I become legendary?" He woke up asking, "How can I become better than I was yesterday?" History remembers him not because he hunted greatness, but because greatness quietly followed a man who refused to stop refining himself when nobody was watching. Most people destroy their future without realizing it. They refresh the numbers before improving the skill. They seek recognition before earning mastery. They become addicted to visible progress, and because real growth is invisible at first, they mistake silence for failure, then quit while success is still walking toward them. Think about a blacksmith forging a sword. Every strike looks identical. The first 100 blows seem meaningless. To an impatient eye, nothing is changing. But deep inside the steel, every impact is rearranging its strength. Then suddenly, what looked like ordinary metal becomes a blade capable of cutting through armor. The sword was never created in the final strike. It was created by every strike that nobody thought mattered. Your life works the same way. Every book you finish when nobody applauds, every workout completed in an empty room, every skill practiced after everyone else has gone to sleep. None of it feels important today, but these invisible actions are quietly building a version of you that opportunities will eventually recognize before people do. This is why ordinary people stay ordinary. They demand proof before they commit. Extraordinary people commit long before the proof appears. They understand a law most people spend their whole lives fighting. The world only notices what has already been built in private. So from this moment on, stop asking, "When will success come?" Ask a far more dangerous question. Who must I become so that success has nowhere else to go? Because once that question takes over your mind, everything changes. And the next principle will show you the silent habit that multiplies your growth faster than almost anything else. Principle 2. Fall in love with mastery, not recognition. There is a silent addiction destroying more dreams than failure ever could. It isn't laziness. It isn't fear. It's the craving to be seen before you've become someone worth remembering. The moment recognition becomes your goal, your growth quietly begins to die. Picture an archer standing before a target. A beginner stares at the bullseye, desperate to hit it. But the master barely looks at the target at all. His attention stays on one thing only: his breath, his stance, his grip, his release. He understands something the beginner never will. The arrow doesn't obey desire, it obeys discipline. This is exactly why most people stay stuck. They obsess over subscribers instead of skill, followers instead of value, applause instead of mastery. They keep staring at the scoreboard, while the winners are quietly becoming so good that the scoreboard has no choice but to change. Leonardo da Vinci spent years perfecting tiny details that almost nobody would ever notice. Hours on a single hand, days studying light, weeks correcting one mistake. To everyone else it looked painfully slow. But genius is never built through speed. It is built through an obsession with details ordinary people are too impatient to respect. Imagine planting an oak tree. Every morning you dig it up just to check if the roots have grown. Every time you do, you delay the very growth you're desperate to see. That is exactly what happens every time you chase validation. Every time you stop working just to see who noticed, you pull your own roots out of the ground. Here's the brutal truth. Success is not attracted to people who want attention. It is attracted to people whose ability becomes impossible to replace. When your craft reaches a certain level, opportunities begin searching for you long before you start searching for them. Ask yourself one uncomfortable question. If nobody applauded your effort for the next 2 years, would you still keep improving? Because your answer reveals whether you're building a legacy or simply performing for an audience. Remember this for the rest of your life. Recognition is borrowed, mastery is owned. Recognition can disappear overnight. Mastery stays with you forever, quietly opening doors that hard work alone never could. And there is one invisible enemy that destroys even the most disciplined people before they ever reach mastery. It whispers that comfort is harmless, when in reality, comfort has been stealing your future one easy choice at a time. That is exactly what the next principle exposes. Principle 3. Comfort doesn't protect you. It quietly destroys you. There is a prison so dangerous that millions of people willingly lock themselves inside it every single day. And they call it comfort. It doesn't look like a prison because it never hurts you immediately. It smiles at you. It lets you rest. It whispers, "You can start tomorrow." And while you keep believing it, your future quietly disappears behind your back. The greatest tragedy is not failing. The greatest tragedy is waking up one day and realizing you became exactly the person comfort wanted you to become. Predictable, average, and full of potential that was never used. Life doesn't steal your dreams overnight. It steals them one comfortable decision at a time. Seneca understood this better than almost anyone. He deliberately chose days of hardship, simple food, rough clothes, uncomfortable living, not because he enjoyed suffering, but because he refused to let comfort become his master. He knew that the man who only feels strong in comfortable conditions is not strong at all. He is simply protected. Picture a sword lying untouched inside a beautiful glass case. It shines. It looks perfect. It never gets scratched. But the first time it faces a real battle, it shatters. Beside it stands another sword, covered in scars, forged again and again inside unbearable fire. One looks impressive, the other survives reality. Growth has never been created inside comfort. It has always been forged inside resistance. Think about your own life. Every difficult conversation you keep postponing, every workout you promise to start next week, every opportunity you avoid because failure feels embarrassing. Those moments aren't testing your ability. They're testing whether comfort still controls your decisions. Here's what almost nobody realizes. Confidence is not built by winning. Confidence is built by repeatedly surviving things your mind once believed would break you. Every voluntary hardship sends one message to your brain: I'm stronger than my fear. And after hearing that message enough times, fear slowly loses its authority over you. The people you admire aren't fearless. They simply stopped negotiating with discomfort. While everyone else searched for the easiest road, they chose the road that demanded more from them. Years later, people call them talented, never realizing they were simply willing to stay uncomfortable longer than everyone else. So the next time your mind begs for the easier option, pause for a second and ask yourself a dangerous question. Is this choice building my future or protecting my comfort? That single question can change the direction of your entire life. Because the next principle reveals something even more dangerous than comfort. An invisible force that drains your potential every single day without making a sound. Most people never notice it until it's far too late. Principle 4. The world doesn't reward effort. It rewards identity. Every morning, before you even make your first decision, your brain asks one silent question. Who am I today? And whatever answer you have repeated for years becomes the invisible script your entire life follows. Most people don't lose because they lack discipline. They lose because they're trying to act like someone they've never decided to become. Imagine an eagle raised among chickens. It eats what they eat. It walks where they walk. It spends its whole life believing the sky belongs to someone else. One day it spreads its wings by accident and realizes the prison was never the cage. It was the identity it accepted without questioning. The same thing is happening to millions of people right now. Epictetus taught that no one can imprison your mind without your permission. Yet every single day, people do it to themselves. They repeat the same sentences. I'm not disciplined. I'm not talented. I'm always unlucky. They think these are observations. They are not. They are commands. And your mind obeys every command you repeat often enough. Look at an Olympic athlete. They don't wake up asking, should I train today? That decision was made years ago. Training isn't something they do. It's who they are. When your identity changes, discipline stops feeling like sacrifice. It becomes your natural behavior. You no longer force yourself to act differently because you've become someone different. This is why motivation keeps failing you. Motivation fights your identity, and identity wins every single time. If you still believe you're an average person trying to build an extraordinary life, your old identity will pull you back every time you make progress. You cannot outperform the story you keep telling yourself. So stop saying, I want success. Start asking, what would the man I'm becoming do next? That one question rewires your decisions. Suddenly the workout isn't difficult. Reading isn't boring. Waking up early isn't painful. They're simply what your new identity does, whether anyone is watching or not. One identity creates excuses. Another creates evidence. Every difficult choice you make is a vote for the person you're becoming. One vote changes nothing. 1,000 votes create a completely different human being. And one day people will call it talent, because they never saw the quiet identity you built in private. But even the strongest identity can be destroyed by one invisible habit, a habit that quietly steals your focus, your peace, and your future without you realizing it. And once you see it, you'll understand why so many capable people never become exceptional. Principle 5. Guard your mind, because everything wants to steal it. There is something more valuable than your time, more valuable than your money, even more valuable than your talent. It is your attention, because wherever your attention goes, your life quietly follows. And the frightening truth is this: the modern world is built to steal it from you every single day. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water while dozens of tiny holes leak from the bottom. You work harder, you carry more water, you blame yourself for not making progress. But the real problem was never how much water you poured in. It was everything silently draining it away. That is exactly how most people live. They don't fail because they lack potential. They fail because their focus is bleeding in 100 different directions. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire surrounded by chaos, betrayal, war, and endless opinions. Yet every night he returned to one simple truth: your mind belongs to you, unless you hand it away. Today, people surrender it without a fight. One notification, one negative comment, one meaningless comparison, 1 hour of scrolling. Little by little, they become strangers to their own purpose. Look at a magnifying glass under the sun. Sunlight by itself feels harmless, but concentrate those same rays into a single point, and they become powerful enough to start a fire. Human attention works the same way. A distracted mind warms nothing. A focused mind changes everything. The people who transform their lives are not always the smartest people in the room. They are the people who learn to protect their attention like a king protects his throne. They say no to conversations that steal their peace, no to habits that weaken their discipline, no to opinions that have never built anything worth admiring. Every no creates space for a more powerful yes. Ask yourself something brutally honest. Who has controlled your mind today? Was it your purpose or someone else's opinion? Was it your vision or an algorithm deciding what deserved your attention? Because if the world can choose what you think about every hour, it has already chosen the direction of your life. From this day forward, stop treating your attention like spare change. Treat it like your greatest investment. Protect it, train it, aim it at one meaningful goal long enough that the impossible begins to look inevitable. Because success is never created by people who pay attention to everything. It is created by people who become obsessed with one thing until the world is forced to notice. And yet, even perfect focus is not enough. There is one final trap that quietly destroys people just before success arrives. It doesn't appear as failure, it appears as progress. And that is exactly why almost everyone falls into it without ever realizing. Principle 6. The moment you start performing, you stop growing. There comes a moment in almost every ambitious person's life when success begins to whisper a dangerous lie. It says, "Look how far you've come. Now make sure everyone sees it." That whisper has destroyed more potential than failure ever has. Because the moment your focus shifts from becoming to being admired, your growth quietly begins to slow down. Imagine a tree standing deep inside a forest. It doesn't grow taller because someone is watching. It doesn't stretch toward the sky hoping for applause. It grows because growth is its nature. Now imagine another tree that stopped growing the moment people started praising its height. Years later, the first tree towers above the entire forest, while the second remained trapped by the moment it chose admiration over progress. Marcus Aurelius wrote his deepest thoughts in complete privacy. He never intended the world to read them. He wasn't building an audience. He was building himself. That is why his words still guide millions of people centuries later. History remembers those who were obsessed with truth, not those who were obsessed with attention. Watch what happens after someone achieves their first success. They stop practicing and start protecting their image. They stop learning and start defending their reputation. Every decision becomes about looking successful instead of becoming stronger. From the outside, they still appear to be climbing, but inside, they've already stopped moving. The most dangerous version of failure doesn't feel like failure at all. It feels like comfort wrapped in applause. It convinces you that because people admire who you are today, you no longer need to become someone greater tomorrow. And without realizing it, your greatest achievement quietly becomes the ceiling you refuse to break. Ask yourself this question with complete honesty. If every compliment disappeared tomorrow, would your standards remain exactly the same? If the answer is yes, you're chasing mastery. If the answer is no, you've slowly become addicted to recognition, and recognition is a drug that always demands a higher dose. Never let success become your identity. Let it become your byproduct. The strongest people in the world celebrate for a moment, then return to the work before anyone expects them to. They know that yesterday's victory cannot build tomorrow's life. Only today's discipline can do that. Principle 7. Become dangerous by learning to wait. The strongest people you will ever meet are not the fastest. They are the ones who never allowed time to become their enemy. While everyone else is obsessed with speed, they are obsessed with endurance, because they know a truth that destroys impatience forever. Anything built too quickly usually collapses just as fast. Picture a glacier moving across a mountain. Day after day, it seems completely still. Anyone watching for a few minutes would laugh and say, "It's not moving." But come back 100 years later, and you'll find that same silent glacier has carved entire valleys through solid rock. It never rushed. It never panicked. Yet nothing in its path was strong enough to stop it. This is where most people lose the battle they never realize they're fighting. They don't quit because the dream is impossible. They quit because the reward didn't arrive on their schedule. They mistake silence for failure, not realizing that the greatest transformations are almost always invisible before they become undeniable. History leaves the same fingerprints everywhere. A bamboo seed can spend years building roots that nobody sees. To the impatient eye, it looks lifeless. Then, in a matter of weeks, it rises higher than anyone imagined possible. People call it sudden success, forgetting the invisible years that made the explosion inevitable. Ask yourself honestly, are you measuring your progress by your effort or by other people's ability to notice it? Because those are two completely different scoreboards. One creates resilient people. The other creates frustrated people who abandon the journey just before the breakthrough they were praying for. Patience is not passive. It is one of the highest forms of discipline. It means showing up when nothing is changing, believing when nothing is proving itself, building when nobody is clapping. Anyone can work when results are obvious. Very few can keep working when faith is the only evidence they have left. Never forget this. The tree that survives the storm is not the one that grew the fastest. It is the one that spent the longest time strengthening its roots where nobody could see them. The world celebrates the height, but nature rewards the roots. Principle 8. Stop waiting for permission. Your future is waiting for you. There comes a moment that separates people who dream about extraordinary lives from those who actually build them. It isn't the day they become fearless. It isn't the day they finally feel ready. It is the day they stop waiting for someone else to tell them they can begin. Most people waste years standing in front of doors that were never locked. They wait for confidence before taking action. They wait for certainty before making the decision. They wait for life to give them a sign, never realizing that every day they hesitate, someone else with less talent but more courage quietly walks past them. Imagine an eagle sitting on the edge of a cliff. The wind is strong. The sky is uncertain. For a moment, it hesitates, not because its wings are weak, but because it has forgotten what they were made for. The second it jumps, the wind that once looked dangerous becomes the very thing that allows it to soar. The fall was never its enemy. Hesitation was. The Stoics never believed that courage arrived before action. They believed the opposite. Courage is born the moment you move, despite uncertainty. Fear doesn't disappear because you waited long enough. It disappears because you proved to yourself that it never had the power to stop you in the first place. Look at history closely. Every remarkable person began before they felt prepared. They spoke before their voice stopped shaking. They built before they knew every answer. They accepted that perfection is not the price of success. Action is. Waiting for the perfect moment has buried more dreams than failure ever could. Ask yourself one uncomfortable question. Who are you still waiting for? Are you waiting for approval, for confidence, for circumstances to become easier? Or are you waiting for a version of yourself that can only exist after you take the first step? Because the life you're hoping for will never arrive to rescue you. It is waiting for you to rescue it. From this moment on, stop asking whether you're ready. Start asking whether you're willing, because readiness is a feeling that comes and goes. Willingness is a decision, and decisions shape destiny far more than emotions ever will. Never forget this. The people the world calls fearless were never born without fear. They simply reached a point where the pain of staying the same became greater than the fear of moving forward. The day you stop asking permission to become who you were meant to be is the day your future finally begins chasing you. Principle 9. Success was never the destination. It was the person you were becoming. At the beginning of this journey, you believed success was something waiting for you somewhere in the future, a destination, a reward, a moment when life would finally say, "You've made it." But after everything you've discovered, you can finally see the truth that changes everything. Success was never waiting at the end of the road. It was quietly taking shape inside you every single day. Imagine a sculptor standing before a massive block of stone. To everyone else, it's nothing more than a lifeless rock. But the sculptor never sees the stone. He sees the masterpiece trapped inside it. Every strike of the chisel removes something unnecessary. He isn't creating greatness. He's revealing what was already there. Your journey has never been about adding more to yourself. It's been about removing everything that was holding the real you back. This is what the Stoics understood long before the modern world became obsessed with achievements. They knew that the greatest victory is never over money, status, or other people. It is over the weaker version of yourself that begs for comfort, fears rejection, and searches for shortcuts. Win that battle, and every external victory becomes a consequence instead of a goal. Look back at every principle you've learned today. None of them were really about becoming successful. They were about becoming disciplined enough that success could trust you, becoming patient enough that success couldn't rush you, becoming focused enough that distractions couldn't steal you, and becoming strong enough that failure could no longer define you. One day, people will look at your life and call you lucky. They'll admire the success they can see, but they'll never witness the invisible mornings you chose discipline over excuses. The lonely nights you kept improving while nobody believed in you. The countless moments when you refused to quit, even though quitting would have been easier. They'll see the harvest, but they'll never understand the seasons you survived. So never measure your life by how much success you've collected. Measure it by how much you've transformed, because success can be lost, money can disappear, recognition can fade, but the person you become while earning them can never be taken away. Remember this for the rest of your life. The goal was never to build a successful life. The goal was to build a person who could create success anywhere, under any circumstance, again and again. Because when you become that person, success no longer feels like luck. It becomes inevitable. And that is the greatest secret hidden inside every extraordinary life. They never chased success harder than everyone else. They simply became someone that success could never ignore. If you've stayed with me until this moment, then you've probably realized something that most people never do. None of these principles were really about success. They were about becoming the kind of person success cannot escape. Because in the end, your future is never created by one big decision. It is created by the small choices you repeat when nobody is watching. Starting today, stop chasing faster results. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Stop asking life when your opportunity will arrive. Instead, ask yourself one question every single morning. Who am I becoming today? Because that single question has the power to change every decision you make, and eventually, every life you touch. Years from now, people may admire your confidence, your discipline, your achievements, and the life you've built. They'll assume you were talented. They'll call you fortunate. They'll search for the secret behind your success. But they'll never see the thousands of invisible moments when you chose growth over comfort, discipline over excuses, patience over frustration, and purpose over distraction. Always remember this. Success is not a prize that belongs to a lucky few. It is a reflection. It mirrors the person you become in private long before it rewards you in public. The world can ignore your efforts for a while, but it can never ignore the person those efforts eventually create. So from this moment on, make yourself one promise. No matter how long it takes, no matter how quiet the journey becomes, you will never stop becoming better than the person you were yesterday. Because the day you commit to that decision, success stops being something you chase. It becomes something that quietly follows you for the rest of your life. If this message challenged the way you think, don't let it end here. Choose just one principle from this video and start living it today, because your life will never change from what you know. It will change from what you consistently become.